Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Leon Master, and welcome back to another Overwatch League Season 3 tier list, and we are on to the flex supports, off supports, whatever you want to call them. We are on this now, and the next one's going to be the main supports, and next week, if this is going to happen, we're going to do the duos, and the first one's going to be DPS. We're kind of going to go back to the rotation. But we are on flex supports, and before I go on, I'm going to say this at the beginning of the video. If you've been watching these videos, you already know what I'm about to talk about. So if you're new here, I won't be ranking the APAC region because I don't watch those games live. I do a better understanding when I watch those games live. It's just better for me to watch those games live than VOD. I understand people will be mad about that, but that's just easier for me. I want to make that short and simple for you guys. The APAC region will not be on here because of those reasons. Now here's all of our players we are going to be ranking, and may I say I'm actually really excited for this one because this is the role I really watch the most, because no one just really watches the supports that much, because a lot of people like to focus on the kill feed more, and that people think that defines how good or bad they are, especially in the supports a little bit, because we love our Jonax, especially back in season 1, 2, maybe even now, I don't know. But he pops on the kill feed a lot. Same thing goes with Alarm, but Alarm does a lot of good things as well. We look at that mostly, but there's a lot of other things that identify if those flex support players or main support is good or not when it comes to their ult charge and positioning. So we're going to start off with Dogman on the Atlanta Rain, and may I say, Dogman's still doing a pretty good job for him on the Atlanta Rain. Yes, Atlanta Rain is on a slip, I guess you could say. They're not insane as we thought they were going to be when the season first started. They were alright. They're pretty good, actually. But they're not that insane, but I do gotta say Dogman's still pretty good. I think he's a solid B tier. He's decent positioning, and he's still, I feel like, underrated. I feel like people need to talk about him a little bit more. I think he can be A and S for sure, but I think a Dogman for B is a perfect spot. I can see some people arguing C, and I get that for sure, but his BAP has been very good. He puts a lot of practice on his BAP whenever he first came out, and his Ana's good. His Zen's very good as well. I think all around he's a good off-sport player, and I feel like anyone would like to have him on his team. Now we got Kodak, who's on the Atlanta Rain as well. He's now coming in for the Atlanta Rain kind of like duo they want to do with the Baptiste and Zen, which is very smart for them to do because it's just kind of like the meta you kind of want to run with those supports. I think all around's fine. I think Kodak is still kind of playing the same he did last season when he did play those games. I think his Zen's still pretty alright and average, not bad. I think he's a solid C for what he's showing us right now. I don't think he's awful. I want to keep this in mind too. A lot of people think C is bad. C's not bad when it comes to my tier list in general. I'm not really saying any of these players are bad unless they're an F tier, obviously. But I think Kodak's still doing a good job. I think there's a chance in the next couple upcoming weeks and months, who knows if they're going to keep playing that same comp, he could be up here in B. But what we're seeing right now is a C, but he's doing a really good job. Now we got Repel. Repel's been doing a good job, and also Raucus. I know I can put Raucus on here, but I like what I'm seeing for Repel as well. Raucus is good, but Repel, I think Repel's doing a good job as well with the Houston Outlaws. It was very bumpy with him for the start of the season, but I do gotta say that he's growing on the Houston Outlaws. He's doing very good. I think he's a solid C. I think with the flex sports we have now in the league, it's very hard to rate him higher right now. I think there is better flex sports than Repel and Kodak for sure. I think Repel's good though. I think we'll see him grow a little bit more. I think when the end of the season happens, I think these tier lists are going to change massively, and we'll see where it goes in the future. Now we got Lastro, a support player I knew was good coming into the season. I was shocked to hear that LA Valiant was only looking at Lastro. He's all around just a good off-sport player. He didn't really have that many shaky games when he first came in. I think he's a solid B tier. I think you can argue A, but there was many times that, yes, he had a lot of mistakes in some games, and he just looked kind of uncomfortable sometimes as well. I think it's a solid B tier. I think he fits good in the B tier. A is going to be stacked, and S is also going to be very good as well. We just have a lot of good flex sports this season. I think he's a solid B. He could easily be an A in the upcoming weeks as well. I'm going to say that for a lot of players. Let's see what he can do in the future. I think he's going to do good. Now we got Crimzo. I think Crimzo's very underrated. Honestly, I see a lot of people on social media, mostly Reddit, saying that Crimzo's not good. He's the worst player or the worst flex sport in the league. A lot of people are saying that about Crimzo, but if you look at his positioning, it's very good. His ult charge, I know for sure he's got to be on the top 10s when it comes to his ult charge, maybe even top 5. If you look at his ult charge, he gets a coalescence every fight, which is, yes, it's very easy to get coalescence, but he also does that with nanos and trans, which is very hard for the trans part unless you're winning fights non-stop and hitting those headshots. But Crimzo's doing that as well, so I think Crimzo all around is a good off-sport player, and when he gets more comfortable with the team, who knows where he could be. I mean, people are even arguing Dallas is a top 5 team right now, and I gotta say a little bit with that is with Crimzo. Obviously, we see Decay and Doha, but we're not looking at Crimzo that much. So I think he's a solid B when it comes to it. I think a lot of people need to watch him a little bit more. He's very good. Now we got Gangnam Jin. I'm instantly going to put him in A tier. I think he's a fantastic all-sport player, but the reason he's not going S is because at the start of Florida Mayhem, they were very inconsistent, and Gangnam Jin was a part of that, I feel like. You know, he had interesting games in the first couple weeks, even maybe a month or two, but obviously, when time has gone on, he's gotten better again. Very good, very consistent now, but with those mistakes, I'm putting him in A. I think if he didn't have those mistakes, he'd definitely be sitting at S right now, but I know for sure he's an A or S. I don't see anyone ranking him down below more. We even knew coming into the season he was going to be one of the best, and I want him to be on the S tier when the season ends, for sure. Now we got Fielder. And Fielder has been great, and we knew he was going to be great coming into this season, and I'm so happy he's good. But that 200 ping is kind of holding him back. It's kind of holding him back, but he's doing a fantastic job at that 200 ping. I could see people rating him S. I can see people doing A as well with me. I think he's a great off-sport player. Whenever that ping goes off, I'm pretty sure we're going to see more things come out of him, and it's going to bring him to S tier. But I think A tier right now. A tier is going to look good, and so is S tier. I think Fielder's been great. I want to see him when the season ends and see where he ranks after. I hope he ranks in S, because he definitely needs to be in there at the end of the season. Now we got Vancouver Titans Wolf, and a lot of people say I look just like him. And who knows? Honestly, if I'm going to be real, he's F tier. I don't even think this even goes with their Vancouver Titans performance. I just watched Wolf, and I'm just confused. He has some of the worst positioning. He's like frontlining sometimes, and then his ult charge is slow, which yes, I could, you know, obviously he's on the Vancouver Titans, you're losing, it's very hard to grind that ult charge, but even before, when he was on second wind, I know I'm talking about Overwatch League, but even second wind, he was not even good there. I didn't even expect him to get into Overwatch League anytime soon, but I think he deserved it because he's been in the scene for so long, very long, but he's just not been that good recently. I don't know if he'll even get better. Hopefully he does. Maybe if the team gets a little bit better, maybe with Shockwave coming in, Wolf will look different. But I don't know right now. Wolf has just not impressed me at all. Maybe a D, he can move up there, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Now we got Alarm, and Alarm is going to definitely be our first S. We knew coming into this season he was going to be insane. One of the best upcoming rookies, I guess you could say, for the Overwatch League, and he's shown that. Obviously his first like 1 or 2 games were kind of shaky, but not that bad, but he's been consistent ever since, and he's definitely changed the team. With Funny, Astro, and Alarm coming in, very aggressive players, it helped the team with Sato as well, and Alarm's got to be a part of that. He can help himself in many situations. You know, normally tanks come back and peel for their off-sport, but Alarm can do it by himself sometimes, which is great to see. Alarm is just an S tier player, and I can't wait to see what he does later in this season. Now we got Myeonbong, who has been the best player, hands down, on the Boston Uprising. There's no other way around it. He almost won them that Paris Eternal game in the May Melee with that nice sleep on Soon. It was so close, but Myeonbong has still been good, and obviously he's not going to go down here. I think he's a solid B, or maybe even an A. Who knows, honestly. Myeonbong has been good. I think for right now, B is a solid spot to put him. I could see people putting him A. I don't know about S just yet, but Myeonbong has been so good for the Boston Uprising, changing the team some points, even some fights. And with Punk coming in, I love to see what Myeonbong and Punk can do to change this team. And if they change it well, you know for sure Myeonbong is going to be A and S at the end of the season for sure. And when this season's over, I'd love to see where Myeonbong could end up going to a different team. We just know how they do their things. Myeonbong is a good off-sport. I'm tempted to put him A right now. Maybe that's a little bit too high, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. But Myeonbong's weird. I'll think about it at the end at the tier list. Now we got Violet, and I don't know if this is a hot take anymore because I think people are now starting to realize this, but I don't think Violet is an S. I think there's been many times where Violet was kind of inconsistent. He looks like, when I look at Shock before Twilight got signed, I saw Violet as a person they could have got an upgrade over. And they got Twilight, which I don't know if they're going to play him now because Violet's been in a lot of synergy now, Season 2, 3, and who knows if they're going to keep playing him. They got Twilight. I love to see Twilight over Violet, personally. But I think Violet all around is good. His On is very good, but his Zen, not as much as Alarm, I would say. But all around, Violet, great player still. I definitely think he's an A tier. Now we got Chaz on the LA Gladiators. This player, you know, he's always been good for the Gladiators, always doing the right things. Good sleeps as well. Some of the best sleeps I've seen in Overwatch League. Still one of the best Western flex ports out there. He definitely deserves to be B. And before we move on, I want to make this tier list honestly just my opinion. All of them have been my opinion anyways. I feel like people didn't realize this. This is not based off stats or anything. This is just personally my opinion. And that's just I'm just gonna say that moving forward. Now we got Karev on the Toronto Defiant. I think Karev also, when it comes to teams like the Boston Uprising with Myeongbong, he has been the best player, or one of the best players on the Toronto Defiant since he got on there. And Karev's still making huge changes on the team. I gotta say he's an A. I can't see myself putting him in B with players like this, and definitely not C and below. I think Karev's been good the entire season. Season 1 as well, all the way till now. I think Karev has been very good. I'd love to see where he can go in the future. Hopefully he does not retire, because we know what happens when you're on a bad team. You just lose motivation to play, and then you retire. Hopefully he does not retire anytime soon. He's a great player. Hopefully he keeps performing well, if not even better. I will see what he can do later in the future. Now we got Aim God on the Washington Justice. Now Aim God is a weird one. You know, obviously you're on the Washington Justice, and it's not a good team, right? But I feel like you can argue him being on the Boston Uprising, when he did play, he was very good, and he still showed great performances. When he's on the Washington Justice, let's be real, guys, he's not been performing that good recently, and at all, I would say, on the Justice. I don't think that's a hot take or unpopular opinion. I feel like that's a well-known opinion. Aim God's not been that good this season. A lot of people know that. A lot of people see it, and I agree with it. Aim God, I don't think this is a hot take. I think he's a solid C. This is not a bad C. But I wouldn't say he's as good as those players above him. I'm going to be completely honest. He's been very inconsistent. He goes on his own solo mission sometimes, which was obviously good back then on the Boston Uprising. But now if the level keep getting better and better every season, it's very hard for him to do that. But maybe with the new players coming in, they just signed Stitch on a long-term contract. Jano's coming in, and they potentially be signing Unique, potentially, and new players coming in. It looks like they have a lot of signings coming in for this break. This will potentially change Aim God, but I don't know. So I just looked over my list, and I think I'm going to agree with this. I would love to change some things, but I don't want too many in a certain tier. But I am very comfortable with this. Yes, there's no one in D tier, and if I was going to be nice, let's put Rolf in there. You know, let's put Rolf in there, I guess. Let's be nice. Let's be nice a little bit. I think this is a solid list in general. You know, C tier is not bad. Repel's been growing on the team a little bit. Aim God's been good. Alright, that's alright. Kodak's been showing an average Zen performance. And before we go on, if you guys see that text, these players are not ordered on how good they are just in tiers. I noticed a lot of people were confused at this, but I know why, because they definitely skipped the video. Hello to the people who are now skipping the video. And normally I've seen these people on Reddit saying that, because they don't really watch the tier list video. But I'm putting that there, just for anyone being confused. No, I don't think Dogman is better than Myeongbong. No, I don't think Lastro, you know, I don't think that at all. I just... It's just a tier. They're just in tiers. Now, obviously, Myeongbong is better than Dogman, in my opinion. They're just in a tier. They're in a B tier. So, yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to join my Discord down below. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitter and my Twitch. And don't forget to hit that bell. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.